happy Tuesday. Hope you've had a blessed day today. I just want to briefly go over something that I thought was really inspirational in our daily reading, which was 2 Kings chapters 1 through 3. If we go to chapter 3, it's verse 15, and it says, "But now bring me a musician." And it says, "And it came about while the musician played that the hand of power of the Lord came upon Elisha." And what's cool about this, and in this moment, the king of Israel, who was evil, he was doing evil in the sight of the Lord, had asked for him to come to him, and he would not. And so the first time that the king sent people to have Elisha come to him, Elisha prayed for fire to come and wipe them out, and God did it. And he did that a few times. And then finally, they had him come has somebody approaching him who was humble and said, "Please, I value my life and I value you, basically. Can you please come and speak to the king?" And so he came. And as he was speaking to him, he said, "I'm not here for you. I'm here for the king of Judah, who is doing right in the eyes of the Lord." And so it's just a brief history of what's going on in that moment. But what's really interesting to me is in that you see Elisha request a musician, and that while this musician was playing, and Elisha was using that as an opportunity to worship the Lord, that the hand of power, the hand of God, fell upon him. And how many times do we see in Scripture where someone is put in a situation that's difficult, that's hard, that's painful, and they begin to worship, and then God's presence just fills their life? We can see that with King David, when after he had the affair with Bathsheba and she became pregnant and they lost their first son, that in that moment when he found out his son had died, even though he was petitioning the Lord for that son to live, when he found out that the son did not live, he got up, he cleaned himself off, and he went to worship God in the house of the Lord. You see Job when he's losing everything and so many things are coming against him, but even in those moments he worshiped God and God restored his life. You see Paul and Silas when they were sent to prison, that they began to worship God, and in those moments they had their freedom, that God supernaturally gave them freedom in that moment. But beyond that, they were able to be witnesses through their worship. And there was a jailer who was saved, and his family was saved because of that. Oftentimes in our lives, we're going to face hard things. We're going to go through things that bring pain and suffering, because this world is full of brokenness, and sin has come in and brought that. But we have hope in the Lord, and if we can turn our eyes to Him, if we could worship Him, then we know that we have peace, we have comfort, we have joy. If we turn our eyes to Him, we can rest assured that His power will come into our life, and that we can have comfort and peace and strength, that we can get through these moments, and that our eyes can be refocused on Him, and that we can see things clearly. So no matter what you're going through, I challenge you and I encourage you to just worship God. He is so worthy of our praise. And when we worship Him, His very presence is with us. I hope you have a blessed evening, and I hope that you can go beyond this and go beyond whatever you're going through